take them. Trying to reach its ultimate with no ultimatum. Proverbials conveying my verbatim proof vibrations.
Oh, boy. Well, we're sorry for the delay, everybody, but we are back tonight. This is episode, what is this, Omar? 87, 88? I don't have my notes with me because of how late we're starting tonight.
It's the crazy 88. It's like Kill Bill.
All right. It's the crazy 88. But they all died in the end. We're not going anywhere.
Nah, I'm sticking around till fucking 800. 800.
Yeah.
We'll see. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, just want to give a quick shout-outs to our sponsors before we get the show on the road. Special hello and thank you to 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Warning Sports 360, and our family over there at Fightbook MMA. I am your host, the Reverend Tommy D. Joined with me tonight by my buddy, the real American, El Professor, Omar Sangorima. What's up, partner?
That real American matters a lot. I'll tell you off air why. So, but yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good right now. So, fun time.
Well, buddy, it's International Fight Week. It is the week where back in 1776, Dan Henderson knocked out Michael Bisping to gain America's independence with the elbow heard round the world.
It should be. That's how we should take care of international incidents. Disband militaries and just have, one-on-one fights. I feel that could have legs. What do you think? Come on.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
Yeah,
I think so too. So, Omar, would you like to give our listeners, hopefully that are listening tonight as late as it is, the phone number to call in to talk some sports with us?
We are available, as always, at 917-889-2676. If you have anything to say, anything at all, whether it's ridiculous or whether it's ridiculous, probably if you're disagreeing with us, it's ridiculous. So call and get smacked down. So come on.
Well, brother, like we talked about in the show open, I would love to open this with a hashtag Fight Me segment. And this hashtag Fight Me segment is about the Justin Gaethje and Al Iaquinta fight that is not happening. But you know how the internet is. Everybody's sitting there bashing Al. Oh, you bitched out. This, that, and the third. Have you been seeing that too?
It's been some wild business, and it really seems like I wish I had left that back in high school. Seems like a lot is going on social media. I'm glad I graduated before social got crazy because I couldn't stand this. It's too much. It's a lot of BS.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Al hasn't said why the fight is not happening. Basically, in his words, he said, well, ask Justin Gaethje if the fight is still happening. I mean, there's realistically 3 scenarios as to why this fight is probably not happening. The first one, the fight was never signed. Nothing was ever signed. All the UFC did was post a fight picture of the fight being in fucking Arkansas in August, and that was it. Because even Al was questioning it when they posted it, when he said Dana White said this fight was never happening. So the UFC's limp-wristed attempt to coax Al Iaquinta into signing a fight, I don't think it worked. What is your opinion on that theory?
I just wish that if I could post things on the internet and it would make them true, I would post myself in front of a giant pallet of gold bricks and see if that could manifest it. I think Tony Robbins gave a seminar on this one day, and I'm going to try it because apparently that's what makes things real, right? If you post a picture of it on the internet, I'm gonna superimpose a 6-pack on myself, and I'll have a 6-pack. Maybe get a right ear. I mean, I'm going for broke, Tommy. I'm just gonna go all in, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean,
come on.
Is it a fight that we all wanted to see? Of course.
Of course.
Who would not want to see that fight?
Come on, it's like making Christmas, like posting that Christmas, and then Christmas is canceled. Like, no, you can't do this. Right? Better to not tell me. Better to never get my hopes up. I feel like, because now I'm with you in terms of like I'm angrier that looks like we're getting honey dicked, not by Al, but I just feel by somebody. You know, I don't like honey dick.
Well, yeah, it's like it was like the UFC's, like I said, limp-wristed attempt to strong-arming Al into signing this fight with Justin Gaethje. And I mean, I'm sure Al wanted to fight, right? So here's the second reason why this fight could have been canceled. They did an interview with Ali, who is Justin Gaethje's manager, asking him, of course, why was this fight canceled? And Ali had said, look, I can't speak for Al. I'm not going to say that this guy, I'm not going to question his heart because he stepped in on 2 minutes' notice to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov for the 155 title. Now, he's training for a 3-round fight and then jumps at the opportunity for a 5-round fight with one of the most dangerous wrestlers in the UFC on short notice to save the card. So nobody's ever going to question Al's heart. But what was kind of alluded to was it was said that maybe Al wanted more time to train for his next fight. If you're fighting Justin fucking Gaethje, would you not want as much time as possible to train to be able to counteract the wrestling that this guy has that we haven't seen in a while, but he turned around and said that he might be changing his fighting style up a little bit. So he's got that in the back pocket. And speaking of pocket, this is a guy who stands in the pocket and will let you hit him in the face with a metal baseball bat, a brick, the kitchen sink, and Paul McCartney's ex-wife's fucking wooden leg. He doesn't care. He wants to stand there and get beat. So,
I just love
a fighter,
any reference
you
to
like
a wooden
that, right?
leg. I just
like
any
that?
reference to a wooden leg is it's solid gold because it's so multifaceted as we both know. Like you can go so many directions with wooden leg. But continue. I'm sorry.
But if you were a fighter, would you not want as much time as possible to train?
I'd like a time machine so I could train since the day he was born to try and beat him. I put a robe on. I'd join the International Player Haters Hall of Fame. I would do whatever I can, for God's sakes. Like I would try to go back with a DNA recombining machine to try to take away some of his toughness, for fuck's sake. I mean, I might be doing him a service and giving him a better career because we both discussed that Gaethje would probably go further with a bit more fight IQ and a less more cojones power, but that's on him. But yeah, hell yeah, I'd want a full camp and a bit. I'd want like a Mike Dolce type full camp. I'd want the best weight cutter. I'd try to sell a few houses up front so I'd had some play money, no worries, and then go from there. But like Al's never gonna be afraid. Al proved, as you said, that he's never afraid of fighting any fucking person. Like anybody that steps up to fight Khabib on short notice to save a card. You know what's crazy to me, Tommy? Like I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but like this is the sort of thing that made Chuck Liddell a legend, right? In Dana White's eyes, in the Fertitta brothers' eyes, right? He would save cards, he would fight anybody, and until they were bought out by WME, he had like a lifetime pension. Basically, it was a pension. They called it a job, but I bet you he, it was like one of those no-show jobs. Now, because a couple $1 billion later, they have short memories when it comes to this shit. Like, why are you trying to strong arm this sort of guy into this sort of bullshit with little Twitter campaigns and posting the photo? Because then you're gonna back him into a corner and he looks like a bitch for giving up, or you try, and not that he does. I should amend that. You try to make him look like a coward. It's crazy, Tommy. He proved that he wasn't. Anybody that gets into that cage with Khabib, period, is an animal. You get into that cage when it's like you definitely weren't figuring that 12 weeks ago, you're a fucking legend. Like, I don't understand, man. Dana hates Al Iaquinta with a fucking deep-seated passion, bro.
Well,
because it's up there.
Al questions his every move, and this last move he's questioned is changing the weigh-in again. Mm-hmm. Which we could get to that as we start talking about the event this weekend, because a few questions got passed along to Max Holloway about the weigh-in, so we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But so Al's been questioning Dana, and he has no fear of calling Dana an idiot, verbatim. Those are the words, verbatim, because he doesn't really have to fight to make money. He doesn't. He's a real estate agent. He's got ways of making money. He fights because he wants to fight. He also wants to make money when he does fight, which brings me to reason number 3 why this fight could not be happening is Al wanted more money to fight Justin Gaethje, probably. And guess what? He saved your ass on a card that your golden boy almost obliterated to nothing by having all these fights canceled. And, you know, Tony's fight had to be canceled because Tony tripped doing fucking media for the UFC and 18,000 different opponents for Khabib. So, yeah, maybe Al Iaquinta wanted a little bit more money. Dana White had no problem paying CM fucking Punk $546,000 disclosed. That's not counting whatever pay-per-view points they got on the 18 people that bought the fucking pay-per-view.
It was 18.5. I was going to say what points, but yeah, you covered that one. But it's the truth.
Why is it okay that you're going to pay this guy, but you're not going to pay a guy who saved your ass? What do you think, bud?
I really think that our boy Dana, good old Uncle Dana, wants Al to be a company man in word as well as in deed. He wants him to, he wants to be the father of dragons, and he wants our boy Al to bend the knee. That's really all that pisses him off in this situation. What I would love nothing more than for Al to, somehow finagle a fucking fighters union out of this, because he's the type of guy that would be perfect for something like that. I feel, he's always questioning moves. He's doing things that, hey, this the only makes sense for you guys, doesn't make sense for me. Let's have a chat. They should really just be rolling up a money truck to the back of his house and dumping cash. All right, you had a fiasco. We haven't sorted out any sort of mess at the top of that card, from the top of that card. Remember, like, Khabib is somewhere, our boy, your boy, McGregor is somewhere else. Tony looks like he got attacked by a fucking Godzilla. Like, it looks like an alligator took a chomp out of the side of his leg, I hope he can walk again, for fuck's sake. Like, that thing just looks grisly. Looks like a Civil War surgery happened to him, for fuck's sake. So you're shitting on people that are stepping up and trying to save a division. I think, you should be able to get folks fights that make sense for them financially. I don't think Al's wild to be saying, hey, listen, I did you a solid. Let's step up my pay. Because you know what? Like you said, Tommy, he has other means of income. He can take a step back and say, listen, I need something to make me an ROI. I need something that makes sense for me. If I miss selling 2 houses during this fight camp and I'm putting myself through all this grueling, crazy business, it needs to make me an exponential amount more than I would just grinding away at building my business. Why is that crazy? You know what I mean? Like, who are the richest people in the UFC? It ain't the fucking fighters, right? It's the folks that had the same mindset that Al's trying to apply to his fight career. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they seem to want to take a shit on folks that want to step up and take fights. And it's almost as though the minute they have the audacity to put their hand out or to speak up, just for having that temerity, Tommy, they want to punish them. And I don't understand it, because there's more money rolling through their coffers than ever before. Maybe not as much as they had planned or that they wanted to have happen post-sale, but they're making more money now than they are prior. if they wouldn't be, we would have seen a reversal of the deal, or we would have seen some, right back on the chopping block. But no, they're making their cash. Cut the fighters in, Tom. That's all.
Yeah, I don't get it. Hopefully, maybe we'll hear from Al as to why, the fight isn't happening. But, we're getting a good fight out of it regardless with James Vick and Justin Gaethje, don't you think?
We're getting a good fight, but what I don't understand is, I feel as though it was, Dana had a Twitter bot army that was trying to say, oh, this is a much better fight than Al versus Justin. This is great. There's an upgrade. Yo, calm down with that. It's a good fight. Both are violent people. It's not going to be a lay and pray. It's not going to be a wrestle fuck fest or whatever. But I still would have rather seen Al versus Justin. James Vick doesn't. I feel as though he has a ceiling. I feel Justin has a ceiling. I think the breakout star from that triumvirate would have been Al, but now we won't know. And can you educate me a little bit? I saw in passing, but was Paul Felder shit on in this whole merry-go-round somehow? Because I feel like he was making a lot of noise on Twitter, and he was going, why are people slapping me in the face? What's going on? What happened with him? Are they shitting on him and Al too?
Well, no, because now he's fighting Platinum Mike Perry this weekend.
Oh, so he finally, because what's his face? Yancey pulled a rib muscle or something? Or broke a rib?
Well, wasn't Felder scheduled? No, Felder was scheduled to fight Vic.
And then Vic but then it was Yancey versus Platinum. I know. And then Yancey got hurt. So now Felder's filling in. Okay. I just saw
That's still
I saw
a good
on Twitter.
Fight too.
Yeah, that is a phenomenal fight, I feel like. I hate Mike Perry with a passion, but so I hope Paul Felder gives him that Irish dragon uppercut. But we'll see. Just a lot of.
You got to root for the local guy. You
got to root for the local guy, and in that fight, if I'm not mistaken, you got to root for technically the smaller person. No, isn't Felder moving up to take on Mike Perry?
He sure is. He's fighting up, but you look at Felder when he walks around.
Felder's a fucking. He's a gorilla.
He might be cutting to make welterweight.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Paging Mike Dolce. That's my second Dolce reference. Or Lutrition. Let's get.
Yeah, we don't push Mike Dolce on the show.
I'm sorry.
I know he's from New Jersey. I know I'm supposed to go for the guy from Jersey, but nah.
I defer to your infinite wisdom, but we need some better weight cutting. Period. I feel like these injuries are as a result of mismanagement too, though. What's going on, man? I maybe USADA. I'm not trying to say nothing. I'm not saying anybody's pumping up on the juice is loose here, but
Speaking of USADA, Johnny Hendricks retired.
Oh man, I thought you got that backloader to make that hole to bury that horse. I didn't know you were going to bring that poor thing fucking necromantically back to life and beat the shit out of it again. That poor man is in hiding after that lambasting that you gave him on that article, man. Jesus, he stole something from you. I don't know.
I don't think I was wrong. I don't think I was wrong in anything that I said. And if you guys would like to read it, well, hang on. If you guys would like to read that article, please go over to fightbookmma.com and look at my article that I wrote about Johnny Big Rig Hendricks.
He slapped a plate of food out of your hand or something, didn't he? That sounds personal. Like the fucking filet of fish that you made of his poor career. I'm not a fan of his either, but I was like, oh shit, Tommy went in.
The dude, realistically, like I said, retired in November 4th, 2016, when he lost to Robbie Lawler. Yeah. Big Rig retired, and we were left with the carcass of Johnny Hendricks.
Carcass. I can't. That entire blog post, bro. I just was like,
It was
man.
factual. I came with statistics. Okay.
I understand, dude. You got all the receipts, and you made sure that you had a spreadsheet ready to balance accounts. But Jesus Christ, you were a literary grim reaper for the poor bastard. I mean, I think he's still trying to dig out from under that failed steakhouse venture, man. Like, I don't know. He's not doing too well. Right? But hey, it doesn't stop you before, right? Fuck him.
No,
it didn't. Jesus. Animal. Fuck.
So let's talk about some fights, huh? What do you think?
Let's
talk about some deserving fights. You know, some guys that aren't going to retire just yet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. You have to, right? Yeah. Way to go. Fucking animal.
So yeah, bro. You know, I mean, look, UFC usually does give us an amazing card for International Fight Week. I mean, they kind of almost have to. You know, it's when the spotlight's on them. So to open, I don't know why this is on the main card. I guess because there really isn't enough star power on the undercard. I think Paul Felder and Mike Perry could have opened this show, but he got Gokhan Saki against Khalil Roundtree Jr. Nothing against Khalil Roundtree. I mean, his Muay Thai and kickboxing is amazing, but he's exhausted after the first 5 minutes of a fight. And I think against Gokhan Saki, that's not the kind of strategy you want to go for, because this guy can punch a hole through your chest, eat your heart, shit it out, and then go for somebody else. What do you think?
I think that after one round, Khalil Roundtree Jr. turns into Khalil Roundtree Sr. Like, our boy's cardio is just fucking disgusting. And Gokhan, if for whatever reason Khalil thinks that, hey, listen, I'm going to stand with my man here, I guess, you know, we won't find out, or we won't see his terrible cardio in action again, because Gokhan's going to kill this man. If anybody in MMA stands with Gokhan Saki, I'm not prognosticating good things for them. You shouldn't do that. That's like saying I'm going to trade blows with fucking Paul Daly, for God's sakes. Like, no, you're not. Don't do it. You know, or remember Manhoof? That's kind of who he reminds me of a little bit. Like a much more technical version, but like the same just bloodlust that a Melvin Manhoof had, you know, and with better cardio.
Yeah, and I think the UFC. I think the UFC did it right by putting Gokhan in there against another striker rather than.
I never want to see Gokhan versus. I never want to see him fight for a title. First off, like that's the first thing. But the second thing is, I never want to see Gokhan Saki fight a grappler. I never want to see that. Not even on free TV, because that's time I'll never get back. All right, don't do it to me, UFC. All right, I've been a loyal fan. I'm still one of the 5 people, I guess, in the United States that pays for pay-per-views occasionally. So please, just put him in there against other people that'll bang, and I'll keep being a fan. But if you put him in against one of the 6 people that grapples in that division, I'm going to be pissed. All right? You didn't bring him over to fucking rejuvenate the division. You brought him in for star power, so let him do what he's going to do, which is trade and probably knock out most of the people in that division if they do trade with him. All right? Do you have any interest in seeing him fight a grappler?
Yeah, but, you know, I think you could put him in there against Ozdemir.
Yeah, because Ozdemir is going to try to bang with him, you know. Or, you know what? If you do that, but you set it up in the same YouTube video set that Boss Rutan had that self-defense video, and I think you'll see Volkan Ozdemir, he'll turn into some like new guy because he likes fighting in bars. So if you set that up, I think Gokhan and Volkan, oh wow, will have themselves a decent. And I think, do you think Volkan would win that one?
No, not even close. But when you're talking about like promotional, you can set it up like a Star Trek kind of thing. You know, the Vulcan against Gokhan. You can have Gokhan Saki dress up as that that beige color dude with the lumps in his forehead.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! See, you know what? I like how you set me up with that, because if I say who he is, you'll call me a nerd for the rest of my life. But if I don't say who he is, it's like, oh man, I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, thanks.
What's his name, Omar?
I don't know. I like sports and mainly.
But yeah, I mean, they could go a funny route like that. I think people would get a kick out of that, But I mean, they got Ozdemir fighting Gustafsson. I mean, what a way to gift wrap a fight for Gustafsson.
That's terrible. That's a horrible, horrendous matchup. Somebody has no time anymore for Ozdemir. I don't know what happened. He went from, one of the savior. Somebody was, he had a lot of godfathers at the matchmaking station there in the UFC to, they don't got the time of day for this guy, right? Didn't it seem like right after that DC fight, they're like, oh, fuck this guy. Let's give him the worst matchups ever. I don't know, man. It's terrible. And you know what's worse? He'll lose against a Gustafsson that like half wants to be there too. That's just bad for this guy's career.
It's not even that. Does the winner of this fight get to fight for the belt again?
No. They need to do a tournament of some sort, the PFL, for that division. For fuck's sake. The average age in that division is approaching what the average age is in the fucking heavyweight division. That's absurd. Fuck's sake. It's getting what's his face? Isn't Shogun still ranked? Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's getting there, but I mean, this is where it is right now. It's like you have
Timbo Slice is number 11 in that division. He's been dead for a year and a half, bro. Come on. All right.
You had Alexander Gustafsson saying that this fight should be for the interim belt. Of course DC went nuts. He's like, why? So you could lose a third title shot?
Yeah. He's like the Kenny Florian of that division, Gustafsson, and I feel somewhat bad saying that till he's tried to do like this heel turn lately. And now I just can't stand him. And, I was on his side after he willingly took years off his life fighting John Jones. Right? That was tremendous. And a lot of people would argue that he beat him, and I wouldn't argue too hard against him. But holy shit, man. Who's in charge of his Twitter account? Who's in charge of his social media? Or is he that much of a goober and he just hid behind not talking much prior? I don't know what it is, but he puts a bad taste in my mouth now. So I can't get behind whatever the fuck he's doing, and that's terrible because I feel like he was for a while on that elite level. Now, I don't even care if he is or not anymore. Do you? Honestly? Come on. I'm not going to pay to watch Gustafsson fight. Would you pay to watch Alexander Gustafsson fight?
No, because we'll never get another fight like we had against John Jones. It won't happen.
If you're not going to pay, right? This is prize fighting. I'm going to take a page out of Chael's book, all right? My bro at work loves Chael Sonnen, and we listen to that thing religiously every Wednesday. It's prize fighting, Tommy. If you're not going to pay to watch somebody fight, then either the matchmaking's off or somebody's working the wrong gimmick, or you need to go back and get some skills so that you can put a gimmick over it, right? It's a business. I don't want to watch Gustafsson fight anymore. I would if it's free, and I know that it's going to be an exciting highlight before, right? But it's not like I'm going to sit and watch it happen as it happens and potentially get saddled with a shit, boring decision. It's crazy. Because 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh, shit, I can't believe it. I can't wait. Alex, holy shit, right? What's happening, man?
Life, I guess.
Yeah, he mismanaged his career, Tommy. Like, I think that's, my long way of saying that. He had something. He could, and especially with the opportunities that John Jones gave him. Not in the ring, obviously, maybe even in the ring if we want to get into that argument, but even outside of the ring. If there was ever a person poised to get dethroned, really. Like, and some of that shade could be thrown against DC. Maybe not now. He's finally somehow emerging as a hero figure in the sport. But for the longest time, like, hey, he had this great titan in that division, one of the all-time greats, kept on fucking himself in the foot. So you had an opportunity to have your star rise, and this guy just be off snorting cocaine, right? And then Alex, had to go mope, hang out with his sister and knit sweaters over in Sweden or wherever the fuck he's from? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. What'd you do?
Yeah, he's part of the nice Germans, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They did great in the cup, right? Yeah, fuck out of here.
Yeah, he likes Chardonnay and chocolate.
He's trying to come up with a currency for dogs. I get what you're saying, Tommy. I read you loud and clear, sir.
That was the French, but I like that. That was the French, but that was good.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I always think he was German just because of, like, how he looked. But you're right. Right? Andy Richter. German.
Dude.
Fuck out of here.
And we just drove this thing right off the friggin' bridge.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. That's going to be a new catchphrase. Fucking thanks, Alex. Whenever we go off on a weird, like, dude, it's like he's in a parallel universe in that division. An island unto himself. John Dunn would be proud. All right? But you know what I won't do? Pay to watch him fight. What's the next one?
No. So we're both saying Gokhan Saki wins that fight.
Gokhan
right?
Saki's going to shit down Roundtree's throat. Like you said it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's jump on to the fight that we were supposed to have in Brooklyn, but thanks to Conor McGregor's 3-year-old tantrum.
Concerto.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
We got Michael Chiesa against Anthony Showtime Pettis. I'm interested in seeing this fight. I was excited to see this fight in Brooklyn. I'm more excited to see this fight now because I think it kind of has a title contention for Chiesa, even though he thinks Conor kind of fucked that up for him with that bus incident. Look, Pettis was a great fighter. I just don't think he's got it anymore. So I'm going to say Chiesa wins this thing 3-round decision. What about you, buddy?
Well, first off, I'd like to officially put forward to the commission, which is you and me, that it's no more Showtime. It's either Stars, it's Anthony Free Prime, it's Anthony AMC. It's no more Showtime Pettis. All right, that guy died somewhere, I think, in the flames of the car that they lit on fire in front of his house. I don't know what happened, but maybe the mob got to him.
You mean he died? He died when he got caught in that armbar from Benson Henderson that no fighter should ever get caught in like that?
That was horrendous, and you know what? I always stray away from being that guy, at least right then and there, of like, well, that's terrible. They're fighters. They could both whip the shit out of me. I get that. But, like, you're right, Tommy. That armbar was, like, day one. He caught a gi armbar and no gi. That makes sense to us, right? I think you'd agree. Like, what the fuck? How the fuck did he catch that bullshit? But anyway, right? That's what happened. Showtime's not been Showtime for a minute. So I think Chiesa's going up. Showtime's going down. Duke Rufus is going to say what Duke Rufus is always going to say, that we're going to see a new and improved and scary Showtime. But what the fuck else is your coach going to say? Oh, no, he's gonna shit the bed. I'm really nervous. He's going to shit. And like, come on, man. I hate when they ask folks, oh, well, how's your fighter doing? He's doing terrible. I'm telling you. I can't. I'm afraid for his health. Like, what are they going to say? All right?
I mean,
there's a reason why you can't.
This is also a Duke Rufus that said CM Punk was ready.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's a reason why they don't interview your spouse during criminal proceedings, for fuck's sake, because it's that shit's inadmissible. There's spousal privilege, because what the fuck else are they going to say?
Yeah, but,
right?
I mean, you know what, though? I mean, it's good that a coach will always stick by his fighter. I mean, there's no reason for him not to. After the fact, it might be a bit of a different story, but...
Well, what, Henry Hooft, right? Wasn't Hooft the guy that was just like, I'm walking out of here before Rumble before before Rumble threw that fight. Yeah, I said it. Who took offense. But you're right, man. Chiesa is gonna grind it out. It might be a decision. Who the hell knows? He might get crazy and catch a rear naked. I could see that a little bit. And then what? He gets on the mic and calls out Kevin Lee. The fight. What is he gonna do? Like, this is.
I don't know. But I heard Mario Yamasaki is the one who's going to be reffing this fight.
Oh,
I hope Michael Chiesa doesn't get caught in a rear naked choke himself.
You're a straight asshole. Coach Mario. Was that from that parody Twitter account that I got duped in? I was so excited when he followed us. I was like, oh shit! And he has a sense of humor. I should have known. Wait a second, he knows English. Your first giveaway. That's not Mario Yamasaki. God damn it! Because there's two nationalities there: Brazilian, fucking Japanese. Neither of which are native to the English language. I should have known that the grammar was too good. So yeah, Chiesa all day.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. I mean, I like Pettis, but I just think his time might be up.
It's sad because I think he had a bit of a window there to be something crazy, but I don't know if there's stuff that we don't know about. I mean, we joke about the fucking fact that they lit a car on fire in his driveway, but it's kind of fucking scary. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? He doesn't look like he moved out of that area anyway. So what the fuck else? Maybe they got some dirty pictures about his brother and they're trying to blackmail him. I don't know.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's gonna have a career resurgence. You'd like to hope that, right? I mean,
I would love it because that would make the division interesting, even more interesting, right? Remember when he came into the scene, into UFC? It was like, oh shit, he was going to be a revelation. And he can't decide what weight class he wants to be in. Can't decide if he wants to be a grappler or striker or neither. So I want him.
I mean,
he
is a former champ. He's a former champ, so it's it's a good test for Chiesa. So I mean, we'll see, but I definitely am going with Chiesa winning this fight, and it seems like you are too. So let's jump on to the big boys.
Oh boy.
The heavyweight fight that we've been excited to see, that Kareem and I have a bet against, with Francis Ngannou against the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. What are your thoughts? I'm going to go to you first.
Black Beast all day. I'll always have the Black Beast back. He's one of the funniest follows in all of the MMA Twitterverse, as well as Instagram. This man knows how to do social media. He also saves people from floods in his spare time when he's not eating racks of ribs. Well-deserved racks of ribs, by the way, if he's saving human lives. He can eat as many fucking ribs as he well pleases. And I want to see Francis Ngannou keep getting exposed. All right? He's a villain from Bloodsport 4. Shouldn't be in here. Let's get him out of here. That's my take, Tommy. Come on.
Well, as I've stated before, I think Ngannou's going to win this fight. Honestly, I do.
Yeah.
I think
you would.
I think I'm still not off that train yet. I don't think it's derailed completely. I think he's still got the skills to get up there. It looks like he's been working a lot on his cardio because he looks a lot leaner. He looks a lot more cut. I don't know what he's been doing with the ground game, but I don't think he's got that much to worry about.
I'm going to fill you in a little bit on what he's been doing with the ground game. Not a goddamn thing, all right? And it doesn't matter because even if he was doing everything, he just put on wrestling shoes, and that's how he skipped to practice, right? Pinky to pinky with another one of his compatriots because that's how they do, which is totally okay. But you know what? I wish they would both do, him and all his countrymen, learn to fucking wrestle, all right? Because he'd be something tremendous in this sport if he could wrestle, okay? He'd be somebody that would come out to Shakira all the time. Nobody would get on his case for it, but just wrestle, bro, all right? What the hell are you doing? You can't – the time for his sort of fighter is over. And it was the marketing machine. Why can't this marketing machine get behind Ally Aquinta? That guy has a skill set. There's a ton of folks that I would like that marketing machine to get behind. But no, we're going to put all our chips on this dude who can't fucking wrestle. That's why I can't stand Ngannou. All right? He's been getting a lot of free gifts and a lot of free passes. And the dude isn't bona fide. He can knock out a mule. All right? But so could Tank Abbott. There's a reason why Tank's not fighting in the UFC anymore, Tommy. Not all have to do with age. Some of it does. Maybe most of it at this point. But not all of it. All right? He's an anachronism. And so is Ngannou. He has a great story. I'd like to see more of it. We'd see more of it if he could stay upright long enough to knock out people that are worth to have him in the division. Come on.
Well, I'm still picking Francis. So the next fight we got is Max Holloway against Brian Ortega. I'm going to let you go on a little bit of a tangent here as to who you're picking and why.
Well, as much as I would like to pick Max, because our friend Hawaii Mike is probably going to come at me in the discussion thread here later. I'm feeling some sort of way about Brian Ortega. Anybody that can do what he did during his run to that title, interim though it may be, is a fucking madman. I just think he's putting it all together at the right time. Max is great. Max is tremendous in the scrambles. All right, he got so angry that he made a volcano erupt in fucking Hawaii. All right, that's how hard he's training. But that being said, I just think Brian does a couple things a little bit better, and I think he could potentially have enough of a fight IQ to put it into those situations. And on top of all that, he's got that Hail Mary power, bro. There's been a couple of times when, I think both of us could probably say, hey, Brian's out of this one. Holy shit, that O's going to go, right? And he's come back fucking wild man style and pulled subs out of thin air like a fucking Houdini. And I love Max Holloway. I really do, Tommy. I love him to death. That whole thing where he was, just standing, drew that line in the sand and let's throw down. The things he's done to Jose Aldo are absolutely tremendous. But something tells me that Brian's going to force it into his realm of dominance. Not complete and utterly like he's going to outclass Max, because Max is a great grappler, and he might be a little bit better in the submissions, but I feel Brian's one of those rare talents in jiu-jitsu for MMA, that he's got that squeeze, he's got that quick clamp. It's almost in a weird way what I see that, and especially with the Henner and here and Gracie, the videos they do and that whole business. It's almost like Brian somehow applies the self-defense jiu-jitsu or the street jiu-jitsu, but to a cage fight. I know it's not completely equivalent, but the quick snatch, the quick submissions, the crazy yanks out of ridiculousness, I don't know, man. I got to say Brian.
Yeah, this is a weird one. Just because Max does have a ground game, right? He's talked about it on UFC Unfiltered. He's probably better at jiu-jitsu for cage fighting, than he is with the gi, he was saying.
Yeah.
He's looking to get his black belt, but not because, he's a UFC champion and, he's good at cage jiu-jitsu. He actually wants to go the correct route into getting his black belt. So I think he's like a purple belt or something like that.
Gotcha.
Now,
Gotcha.
I know you hear purple belt and Brian Ortega's black belt, but the difference is Max Holloway is a king at being able to keep this thing on the feet. He's rangy. I think Ortega has a size on him, wise. But when it comes to the striking game, I think Max is probably better because he's going to be able to use his distance. He's going to be able to keep Brian away. But as Brian keeps, saying in his interviews, the longer the fight goes, the more it goes in his favor. This is a tough one for me. I'm going to go with the champ, but I don't know. It's like everybody was saying with the Weidman against Silva the first time. Who was it? Rashad Evans. When they were doing the interview with him, when he's like, I'm a big fan of Anderson Silva. He's been a hero to me forever. But when it comes to Chris Weidman, I don't know. That's pretty much how I feel with this fight. But I'm going to go with the champ just because I want to see Frankie fight Max next. That's my thoughts on it.
I got you. I mean, it's so close. I think what I do know is that we're going to be hit. Hopefully everything goes well. Nobody gets injured. The weight cut goes well. I'm making signs of the cross as I say this, but I want to see this fight. I want to see this fight badly. I hope Max is 100%. I don't want to see, I hope we don't both notice how that foot business. I just want to see the best of both fighters because this is going to be a classic fight. Who the hell knows? We might see 3 fights out of these guys over the course of their career, Very well could. They're both young. They're both good. But it's going to be exciting. But I got Brian with that slight edge on the ground. But yeah, it's going to be tremendous.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for this fight just because I'm not sure how many rounds this thing is actually going to go. You know what I mean?
Right?
Will it go all 5?
Exactly.
Will Max get caught in that alligator clamp of a guillotine? You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy.
I don't know. It's scary because it's the unknown.
He's one of those guys that has the type of submissions that like it just doesn't give you any time to think or react. If you're thinking, you're already probably 3/4 of the way into tap city there.
Yeah.
So, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's a scary squeeze. It's a quick snatch up.
And you know what? They're both so likable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're tremendous ambassadors.
Both so likable.
They are. They're great for the sport.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. He seems so. Like when I was on that conference call, he seems so dry. Brian Ortega. Like he seems like he's stoned, but he's not.
No, yeah, that's the thing. It's just like that's just how he is, man. Like some people, and what I look forward to is, what I have seen is that as he's grown more in the spotlight and he's had to give, cut more promos and had to do more media, he's gotten a little bit better in front of the microphone. So I think, that dryness will eventually go away. But some of that is his personality, I feel, Tommy. But yeah, he might get high, but I think he's enough of a professional not to before media,
And have you ever seen a fighter still unanimously loved after being popped for performance-enhancing drugs? Honestly, have you?
No, I think that's one of those things where it's like, as long as he stays clean for the rest of his time in the UFC, that he's beloved once again. I really hope that we'd never see any craziness.
Well, he owned up to it. You know what I mean? He owned up to it when it happened. He didn't try and bamboozle the fans and make 7 million different excuses. He just owned up to it.
It was dick pills. It was dick pills, bro.
Yeah.
We all know.
And that's what some of these guys like a John Jones. Well, I mean, as much as everybody shits on him, if he comes back, he'll still have 10 million fans who forgive him. You know what I mean? But it seems like Brian Ortega is just unanimously loved by everybody. You know, even the Frankie fans, after, you know, what he did to Frankie, nobody hated him after that. You know?
Yeah, and that was weird because like everybody could kind of respect him. You know what I mean? But I hope he keeps on the straight and narrow, and I hope we see, you know, I'm very, very selfish here, but I hope we see 3 fights out of this craziness. I really do.
If Ortega wins, do you see them pitting him against Khabib for Khabib's next fight?
I could see that, and I could see Ortega being okay with fighting anybody.
Well, he was offered Khabib when they were looking for when Tony got hurt. They called Ortega first, but Max had accepted the fight. So he was one of the people that they called.
And he'd be okay with it, I think. You know what I mean? Like he'd be okay with it at any juncture, even with winning the belt. I don't see him being like, hey, you know what? I just got the belt. I want to stay here. I want to do this. I want to do that. He's got that. He just has that old school jiu-jitsu mentality of like, you know what? My technique's going to rise above all. I'll be able to handle whatever. And that would be an interesting fucking fight. You know? Who knows? We could see, if Max wins, we could see Max taking him on. Honestly, like, he might just be like, hey, I had unfinished business. I'd like to move up and try this, and then I'll come back down and fight Frankie. Who knows? You know?
I think Frankie gets Max win or lose. That's what I think. Frankie gets Max win or lose. Mm-hmm. I do.
I wouldn't be mad at that fight at all, bro. Like, that's the thing. However this plays out, this I feel like this fight's gonna lead to big things for the division and good things for the fans either way, which is exciting. And this is what we want to see. These guys I'll pay to watch fight. Alex Gustafsson
absolutely
can take a couple seats, you know,
all day long.
But, honestly, seriously.
All right, so you got Ortega and I got Max. So let's jump on to probably one of the biggest heavyweight fights that we've seen in a very long time, just because of who the two combatants are. It's not a UFC-made star like they did with Francis Ngannou, where they needed to build a hype train behind him, not with, you know, Cormier versus Miocic. You got two champions fighting each other. Daniel Cormier is undefeated at heavyweight, and Stipe Miocic is the heavyweight champion. Let me go to you first. Who do you got in this fight?
Gotta go DC. I have to. I think he's Superman and his kryptonite is named John Jones. You know, and instead of green, he's black and white, and you know why he's got the white on him. Oh, crazy cocaine fiend that he is. But everything that keeps playing back in my mind, Tommy, is what Daniel did to Josh Barnett and that crazy Strikeforce heavyweight tournament. He flipped that dude over like it was a synchronized dance move on Dancing with the Stars, like, and it was in a live fight. Things he did, manhandling people. You know, and I know he's dieted and I know he's gotten down, but I'm excited to see him in heavyweight again. You know, I think that's might not be where he looks the best, I guess, but I think it might be where he performs the best, and I think it might be where he needs to go as he gets older. I don't like hearing that he's going to retire soon. It breaks my heart. You know, but I'd like to see him fight quite a few more times, especially at this weight class, and particularly because I feel like Cain Velasquez is never coming back. I'm sorry. I don't have any faith in Cain, really. You know, and if he does come back, it's not going to be the Cain we saw. Well, it's hard to bet against Stipe, but Daniel's a rare cat at that weight class.
You know, to kind of piggyback off that, if DC did win, and he's talking about retiring, you know, when he turns 40, You know, because he said when he was on that conference call, he said he hasn't had a normal life since he was like 15. He's always been training for something, you know.
Yeah.
But if he did win, I'd like to see him defend each belt once before he rode off into the sunset. That's what I would like to see. But if I'm picking a winner of this fight, I think Stipe is gonna win. He's gonna use that range and that distance because I mean Josh Barnett he was amazing. He wasn't the striker that Stipe is. Stipe can keep somebody at bay with his jab, as we saw with the Ngannou fight. Yes. Is DC a better wrestler? An Olympic wrestler? Yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't mean Stipe is a slouch in that department. I don't think DC is going to be able to close the distance against Stipe like he does with everybody else just because of Stipe's boxing. I mean, this is a guy who went away from MMA to become a Golden Gloves champion, turn around, and then come back to MMA. So I got to go with the champ on this one. Man, this is the first time you and I have actually disagreed a lot on a fight card. Usually we're kind of in lockstep.
I think it's going to make it interesting, bro. I'm not doing any bets. I'm not about that betting life. Because the minute I bet, I get it all wrong. I'm telling you. So I'm good on that. I swear to God, it's like as long as if there's a penny on a fight, it's when upsets happen or some wild business or fucking an anvil falls on one of them before the fight happens. So I'm just telling you, I'm gonna keep it correct that way. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, on paper, this is probably one of the best cards of the year, if not the best card of the year on paper, but we still have, 6 days left?
And
anything can happen.
Tons.
Anything can happen in 6 days. DC can get hurt being at that illustrious camp, the champions of the pullout. But God, I just hope everybody makes weight. I hope everybody is healthy. Well, this fight isn't happening in New York, so I don't know if we have to worry so much about the health factor.
I hope everybody's paid their taxes. I hope everybody takes their vitamins, says the prayers, and goes to sleep on time. Like, I need these fights to happen. We've had so many ridiculous things not take place.
Well, I mean, this is Vegas. As long as they can make the walk to the arena, they can, walk out there and fight. But,
Vegas legit doesn't give a fuck. I mean, they're almost like too much on that side of, can you add 1 + 1? Oh, yeah, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? They'd let Evander Holyfield fight again, for fuck's sake, I feel. If he came back and could write his name, to give him a shot. He'd be like, oh, he resuscitated. He's been in float tanks. His brain grew back. Like, okay, bro.
You had to say Evander Holyfield because both of you don't really have an ear?
Oh, wow. Wow, man. Jesus Christ. How did you did a little bullshit judo there. I'm not even that mad with it.
It's 11:30 and I'm still witty, brother.
I'm telling you know what? You bring the goods, bro. Like I totally didn't even see that coming. That's why I was saying wow. But yeah. They
you
let
didn't
him fight.
See it or hear it.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Again, you got me again. I'm just where the hell is Tito and Chuck gonna fight? Like, it's probably Vegas, no, or some Indian reservation.
Oh God, yeah.
Right?
Tito just put a fight poster up. I'm sorry. As much as I would love to see Chuck Liddell beat the living piss out of Tito Ortiz again, we've said this before, and we'll say it again. The one time I'll agree with Dana White is when he said, I told Chuck to stop fighting 10 years ago. I don't think he should be fighting anymore. There's a reason for that. I'm not excited for this fight at all. at all. What about you?
Oh Christ, there's nothing in me that wants to see this fight. It should never happen. And you know what's crazy is that the pictures I'm seeing show. I'm gonna say it, and I think you'll agree. It shows a Chuck Liddell that's been on the fucking sauce. I'm done. I'm done. Like, you try to tell me that homeboy's looking more ripped and brolic than he did when he fought professionally, and he's older, and he's not doing all of the Mexican supplements. He's not on a cycle right now. You're out of your mind. All right? If that's what we're gonna see, make it official. All right? Let's just have it on an Indian reservation. All right? Let's have it at the Weeping Tree Casino in good old Oklahoma. Don't know if that's a real place, but it sounds real enough. And then just have them go at it. Have both of them do all the steroids they possibly can, and see if we can have Chuck Liddell, score the first death victory in modern mixed martial arts. Like, just punch him so hard that he cracks his neck and it's done. What are we gonna gain from this? I've already had this run through once when it was Hoist Gracie versus Ken Shamrock. I believe it was in the same promotion, wasn't it, Tommy?
I don't think this is being done by Bellator.
But is it going to be a weird co-promotion? Or is it just going to be some Golden Boy shit and it's going to be them doing an offshoot? I think it's going to be a one-off. I think it's going to be a one-off Golden Boy shit that for some reason Oscar De La Hoya thinks this is going to do crazy, crazy buys. If he does this as a pay-per-view, he's a fucking fool. If he does this as a pay-per-view...
He should do this on the Home Shopping Network. That's where he should do this.
What, selling garter belts and fishnet stockings? He could go on and model them before and after.
You cannot expect people to pay pay-per-view prices. $30 is too much for this fight, and
didn't Affliction try this shit? I mean, it's crazy what you do when you have money to burn. All right, Oscar De La Hoya, he could build a soup kitchen. He could feed the poor. He could build a school, for gifted poor children.
He could help build a wall? What? Is that what you just said?
Don't you dare, sir. All right? He might have forgotten a little bit of the fact that he's Mexican, but I don't think he's forgotten completely. All right? And he's still a star in Mexico. And they'll still back him even though he prances around in women's clothing from time to time. They don't care. He likes that nose candy. A lot of us do. Big deal.
I just don't get it. What is the undercard for this fight? What's the undercard for it? Dan Severn versus Hank Abbott?
No, it's going to be Screech versus somebody in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because didn't Screech go away for stabbing somebody? They might have, Wesley Snipes is going to fight for IRS money. We're going to see all the ridiculousness. Dada 8000 is going to be fighting. It's Dada's kid, versus Baby Kimbo. Who knows, bro? There's nothing that compels me. But like I said, all the photos I see, Chuck Liddell looks like he's on that horse beef diet. There's no.
Well,
you're not
I'm
telling
sure
me.
He quit. I'm sure he quit drinking.
Yeah. So what? Naturally, you quit drinking, and suddenly, the air fills up your. He wasn't.
Well, it's empty calories, and he's had 10 years to relax his brain,
to deadlift,
and chill out.
Yeah, on no-dose or on that cough medication that he was on during that infamous interview. Yeah, bro, come on, man. It was terrible.
I couldn't even watch that whole thing.
He's 75 years old and he's got bigger muscles than he did when he was 35 and he was fighting professionally. All right, he's doing all the steroids, Thomas. Why are you not you're swirling around that, and I don't understand it. But at least we can agree. Look at these photos. Look at these photos.
I know. I've seen them. When they first started talking about this nonsense, I was just at first I was kind of excited about it because I never thought it would be real. But now that it's real, I just don't want to see it.
He looks like he's eating the parts of the horse that you inject with steroids. So he gets double steroids. He gets the horse craziness and the roids, brother. It's not. There's no way, man. I love how your first thing is he stopped drinking. Get the fuck out of here. He's 60. He stopped drinking. So if like all my crazy uncles stopped drinking, they'd be yoked out like they just did a 10-year bid. Fuck's sake,
if
Tommy.
they started working out, maybe.
Well, shit, stop it, all right? Come on. All right.
And I'm sure somewhere one of your uncles did a 10-year bid.
Stop it. All right? You've been poking around where you should keep your nose out of my family business. But there's no way, dude.
Uh-huh.
He's north of 50. And he looks ripped. He looks yoked out, man. I don't want to see this.
Well, he looks like that. And Tito just had his neck operated on again.
No commission should sanction this. I'm telling you, just for that. I hate Tito Ortiz with a passion. I really do. I think you're not a big fan of his either. We've said this back and forth. Nothing more than we'd love to see him get fucked up. But, like, he catches a bad strike or they fall to the ground in an awkward way. You know, and it's not even like he's got to hit his neck. Maybe, like, he posts weird, you know what I'm saying? And it just, like, jostles something around there. This is much the same way that I would never want to see Cain Velasquez really come back and fight. You know, the man's got a cage around his fucking spinal cord. Like, there's injuries that you can get over, you know, there's prices you pay. You pay that blood price to fight the blood sport. I get it. But, bro, your neck? Come on. Like, that's...
Yeah, no. I mean, think about this. What if Chuck does a spinning wheel kick and connects right on Tito's jaw and his neck snaps back like Alistair Overeem did when he got hit with that uppercut? The man's or
if he pulls a Babalu. Remember what he caught Babalu with? It was like the side of the head. What if he catches him in the neck with that bullshit?
That's what I mean. Like, he's going to be paralyzed.
That's what's that. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see
no.
that. And I don't want to see that associated in any way, shape, or form with a legitimate sport that I love to watch and that we both love to talk shit about once a week. I don't want it anywhere near MMA. I have no need, and I really think this is up there, not quite as bad, Tommy, but this, for me, this is up there with a little bit like the Greg Hardy bullshit. Like, where's the positive from this? Right? Tell me, this anybody that watches this that's not already a fan of MMA is going to be like, this is ridiculous, because it's not going to be a good fight. It's just not. It's no physical way that it is, unless you legitimately tell them in the contract, we will not test for steroids, and you let them have at it. But even then, like, this could be a physically tenuous fight with the age and with the injuries, like we just discussed. So people that don't give a shit about MMA are not going to give a shit about MMA after watching this fight. People that do give a shit about MMA are going to be like, wow, this is a ghoul horror show of a fight, and are probably going to stay away from it. Like you said, it's not going to generate money. What the fuck is going on? All right? Oscar De La Hoya has had some bad ideas, but Jesus.
Do you know how I want to see this fight? I want to see them in sumo suits with those big, giant boxing gloves.
100%. Something ridiculous. Yeah. Or talking shit. You know what? Let's do a reality show where they live together. How hilarious would that be, bro?
Oh, dear God.
Like a Odd Couple type shit, right? But like where you say, hey, listen, you can't put hands on each other, so cut that shit out. And I don't want to see the bravado. I just want to see these two personalities in a reality show type setting, trying to live their lives, putting up with what each thinks is a horrendous jackwagon in the other person. I think you'd get more ratings out of that than them fighting. I'm serious.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you, man. But before we begin to close out this Thursday night,
oh baby,
our buddy, friend of the show, friend of ours, Eddie, makes his PFL debut. That's the way I said that, right?
I like it. You did. You drew it out, and it's sexy, bro. I like it. No,
you like that?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this fight. I know he's fighting a tough Russian cat. hopefully I could do this guy's name right. Shamil Gamitsov. That's the best I can do.
No, that's, you know what? It sounded plenty Cossack to me, bro. So, yeah. You hit the nail on that.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, I'm looking at this fight card, and like we were talking about before, I think the PSL threw the biggest names they possibly could on one card for International Fight Week. You got Jake Shields as the headliner, Khabib Nurmagomedov's cousin, Abubakar. I don't know.
You got that? No, it's perfect. Boom, phonetic. Done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Rick Story and John Howard fighting. That's the main card.
Ray Cooper.
That is a.
I mean,
think
about he's a name too.
Who?
Ray Cooper. Yeah, like for some Bruno Santos.
That I just mentioned. Yeah, but everybody that I just mentioned right there with Eddie and Jake Shields and John Howard, Rick Story. These guys were fighting on main cards of the UFC not that long ago.
Absolutely. You know, and they got some star power. Yuri Villafort is up there. I think is he the younger brother Danilo? Villafort. I think it's the fighting Villafort brothers. They go around in a circus and fight bears and shit. But there's a ton of, and you have a rock solid group of fighters, right? Already like the good bedrock right there. Then you add this format with this wild points format, and then you add the giant carrot at the end of the stick with $1 million. I'm borderline looking forward to this more than I am on Saturday, and I'm not just saying that because our boy Eddie Truck is on the show. I think it just from the last event that we saw, the last two events, I caught the highlights of the first event. I sat down and watched the second one because you gave it rave reviews, and holy shit was I not disappointed. This is going to be tremendous, and I think you were spot on. They saved a bunch of their star power to kind of sort of gently. It's a gentle competition because it's on a separate day. It's brilliant. Whoever's running this is like Scott Coker 2.0, I feel, in terms of like the good strategy. Eddie was telling us that they're running it the right way. They're treating the fighters well. So, they got a great person at the helm, whoever it is. I'd love to get him on the show if he's listening and wants to come on. More than welcome. I want to pick your brain because you sound like an OG in this game. It's a great setup, bro. I think it's going to be exciting as shit.
I got into a discussion with somebody this weekend on I think it was on one of Fightbook's Facebook posts. It wasn't a bad conversation at all. We were talking about the PFL, and I was like, the PFL has a lot of exciting fights this year. I can't wait for season 2. And he was like, well, if they're going to be around that long, I'm like, well, why wouldn't they be? And kind of said the same thing, like, well, they're paying all this money out to these fighters with really no promotion. And I'm like, well, I mean, word of mouth is enough promotion. The undercard is on Facebook, so that's going to get
brilliant.
people.
That's brilliant
going to get people
too.
to watch. Yeah, that's going to get people to watch. And I mean, most people have NBC Sports, but word of mouth is the best thing because that's what worked Ultimate Fighter. Now, you can't gauge the success of an organization on the first year. You really can't. You got to give it time to grow, which I think that it will. If the fights stay exciting, which, I mean, this card, if you're not going to be watching this card, you're out of your mind. Because these guys have been going for it with some names that you might know. Now you're going to be seeing names that you damn well do know. John Howard is a knockout artist.
The format.
He is a knockout artist. Eddie is his name is perfect. Truck. He hits like a goddamn truck. Jake Shields is a master on the feet as well as he is on the ground. And Rick Story is one of the toughest dudes out there. I mean, everybody remembers Rick Story for getting knocked out by Cowboy with that, that amazing combination.
But
Not
that
too many people
was
can do that there.
amazing because it was against Rick's story. Like Rick is the real deal Holyfield, and just a tank in his own right. He's one of those guys that just looks like you have to hit him with something wild, Mortal Kombat-esque to put him down. You know, and who knows? That could be the last highlight of our boy's career there with Cowboy. You never know. I mean, with the way things are going, God bless him. But yeah, dude, there's some luminaries on this card. And the format, guys, I cannot say enough. The format is built to bring every ounce of excitement, every fight on this card. If you win in a boring fashion, you'll get a W, you'll get your hand raised, all right? But you potentially don't advance when this all shakes out. I mean, it's brilliant, Chief. It really is.
Yeah. It's making fighting great again.
Jesus Christ. Here you go. Of course you would. I'm telling you. Man, you've been tormenting me this entire fucking evening. You started out right before the show. You dropped that bomb on me. Where I was like, really? Right before the show? You're a son of a bitch. And then you continue. Little wall comment. And that make fighting great again.
But is it not making MMA what people complain about? Like, if it's boring, is it not making it great again? Taking it back to what got people to watch the fights in the first place? The Stephan Bonner, Forrest Griffin fights. What was that? The Wanderlei Silva against
Brian Stan.
Brian Stan.
Or Wanderlei Silva versus Dan Henderson too. That was another one. Those two guys beat the fuck out of each other.
That's what these guys are doing in PFL. Is it a bloody mess? No, because it's not a 5-round war. But Jesus Christ, it's worth the watch. It's on NBC Sports. Yes, you guys are doing yourself a disservice not watching it if you aren't watching it. But smart fight fans are watching it. So I'm excited for that. Guys, you need to get to RachelBlaze.com. You need to get there. Go to gruntstyle.com. Buy the shirt. We had Rachel on the show. She's really, really fighting for her life right now. She's in and out of the hospital. She's starting to do more live videos. She got on MMAfighting.com. She did an article there. You guys have to get out there and buy the shirt. Spread the awareness. It's not just for her. It's for the thousands of women that are around the world right now that are going through the same thing that she's going through. Please go there, buy the shirt. She really needs the help. It's a lot better than crowdfunding. You're actually getting something out of the deal. Grunt Style is a great company, and they're doing a great thing for Rachel. She is backed by Art Davey, Bas Rutten. Big names in the MMA community are backed with Rachel Blaze. So please, please, please go out there and check her stuff out. Buddy, this was a great show. It sucks that it was so late, but what the hell can you do, right?
Hey, we still delivered the goods on America's birthday week, okay? I don't want to hear nobody complain, and I don't want to hear any self-deprecating bullshit out of you either. All right? Chin up, brother.
Yes, everybody, please have a safe 4th of July. Don't end up looking like Jason Pierre-Paul. Nobody likes looking at freaky fingers. Doesn't matter how hard you hit people.
I forgot about that. I hate you. I hate you so much sometimes, Tommy. I'm a Giant fan. Why? Just why do you gotta, Oh, Christ.
What? So what? He's got a hand like E.T. What does it matter? His finger
glows. Oh, my God. I got nothing to say. We got to close this out. Let's get this out of here before I say something we get banned from Facebook for. All right.
Oh, man. So just a quick shout-out to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2-Minute Warning Sports 360, and our family over there at Fightbook MMA. Buddy, this is a great show. Please get out there. Go to RachelBlaze.com. Get the shirt. She's got the link there. If you haven't heard her interview with us, shame on you. But she has the YouTube link so you can hear the show. You can hear about her struggle. Show some support for her and all the women out there that are going through what they're going through with bad breast implants. Make sure you're watching the PFL this Thursday night. Our buddy Eddie Gordon is fighting. And Saturday night, UFC 226. Max Holloway, Brian Ortega are fighting for the featherweight belt. Stipe Miocic against Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight championship. We might have a champ in the heavyweight division. Buddy, I love you. I hope you have a great 4th of July. I am your host, the Reverend Tommy D. Join with me in that ever lived or floated in on a door. Omar Sangrima.
Oh, God damn.
We are Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.